As a college consultant, I would never discourage a student from applying to a competitive school. I am, however, very upfront about their chances and even the most highly qualified students' chances of getting admitted to one of those schools. No matter how competitive a student's application is, several factors play into college admissions that can ultimately lead to incredible students being rejected. But there are, of course, things that students can do to be competitive for highly selective colleges. In my last video, I promised a very simplified formula. It's really important that I stress that the following advice is just a basic outline. As a consultant, I often work with students for years, helping to make their application stand out. But in my experience, a student stands a chance at an Ivy if they have the following: excellent grades in rigorous courses. I'm not kidding. Take every single AP that you can. Obviously, I recognize you can't fit all of them into your schedule. I've seen some students fit a lot, though, by taking summer classes. You can also take dual enrollment courses, but you need to make it clear to the school that you can handle high academic rigor. And you do need to get A's in those classes. A lot of times students will say, like, is a B in, an AP better than an A in this class? I always say go for the AP and study to get an A. But I would say take the AP anyway. It will demonstrate that you're challenging yourself at least. The second thing would be an SAT or ACT score in the 99th percentile. You need to get as close to a perfect score as possible if your GPA is kind of lacking. Number 3 would be impressive leadership roles. I've mentioned this one before, but leadership can come in a number of ways. And I think that my favorite thing that I've often seen from students is students who seek out their own leadership roles by creating an organization, not just starting a club at school, but starting a project where they are the leader. Ties in really well with number 4, significant evidence of community impact. Evidence of community impact. And number 5, a demonstration of intellectual curiosity, in particular in their field of interest. And it's important that in, I would say, at least 2 of these realms, aside from, your SAT and ACT score and your amazing grades, that you accomplish something that seriously sets your application apart. This is going to take a lot of determination. It's going to take genuine passion. It's going to take creativity. Because for it to stand out, it has to be something that no one else has on their application. And when we say significant evidence of community impact, running a single donation drive in sophomore year and calling it a nonprofit when you haven't even gotten it registered as a nonprofit, that's a video for another day, that ends up raising maybe $200. Okay. I think at that point, it's not even necessarily the money raised. I think it's the fact that it was a one-day event and not that much necessarily went into it. I know it sounds like I'm talking about one particular student. I'm not. This is a common occurrence where students will do a very good thing and then call it a nonprofit. And if they come to me in 12th grade, then it's too late for me to take them through the steps of actually registering it as a nonprofit. But you don't have to start a nonprofit. You can just do something that's really cool. And I really need you to dig for this one. What does your community need? And there's a million different ways that you can define community. Is there an issue that maybe you have with the uniforms that are required for your school's volleyball team? Are they too revealing, and do some of the students on the team feel uncomfortable wearing them? Maybe your community is your local dog park. Maybe the gate for the park is broken or something, and you want to get all of the residents to help you lobby for the town to change it and to fix it. Your community can certainly be your school, but again, you really need to find an issue within your school that you want to help change. I actually saw another creator on this app talking about how in high school, her school offered a creative writing class, and a lot of students wanted to take it, but that class required a fee that students had to pay in order to enroll. And so she advocated for change, and she got a bunch of people together and made them fix that. And they got rid of the fee, and more students were able to take the test. I think she had everyone like write poems for their school's literary magazine, just to show like, look how many students are interested in creative writing. Again, that creativity is important because that's actually what this project is meant to show schools. You can just go and take another class if what they wanted was for you to be a busy little bee. You could just go and volunteer, and you should. Volunteering is a really good way to find out what causes you care about are lacking, and you get to know how to actually address those issues. But that's a different video. I guess I would say like the checklist and formula for being a good candidate for an Ivy is essentially to be curious and interested and motivated. Go figure.